Hey guys, it's Mr. Langhorst. I'm just doing a quick video for what to do on week 9, day 1. And I'm just going to scroll down through Google Classroom. And you'll notice that there are 4 links. You're going to need all of them. So just go ahead and open all 4. The No Fear Shakespeare one. Um, Essentially what I did was on the day that we taught this, I went through what happened at the last part of Act One, and basically it's the result of the man Peter delivering the notice to tell people to come over to the party at the Capulet House, and the the party itself is actually happening in this scene. So you have Capulet saying, "Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the party." Of course, Romeo and Benvolio show up, and then you have Capulet saying he realizes. Pardon me. He realizes in the second part of the scene that Romeo is there. Tybalt gets really upset about that, and Tybalt, if you recall, was the one in Act 1, Scene 1, who was really ready to fight with Benvolio. So he's pretty, you can see this here. I can tell by his voice that this man, Montague, is a Montague. Get me my sword. And he goes and tells Capulet, there's a Montague here. Let's fight him. And actually, Capulet says, calm down, and tells him to relax, and actually says, just let Romeo do his thing. And by the end of this scene, you actually have Romeo saying to Juliet, I love you, and I want to kiss you. There is actually probably a kiss. And it says, for example, right here again, they kiss again. And that's the end of the party, and Romeo goes home. And that's the end of that particular scene. So I'm going to leave that one open, and I'm going to go to the last one here, which is Verona weather. So what I did with all of these things is we did talk about Romeo and Juliet to remind you that we are looking at this town of Verona, and we're doing a climograph for Verona. So just to give you some examples, this is what a climograph looks like. It has both um, temperature and accumulation of precipitation for a city. And what I've done is I've pulled in the data for the city of Verona, and you can see it right here. Here's the maximum and minimum and average temperature for each month. And so we're going to take this data, this information, and we're going to make it into our own climograph. And so how you do that is like this, and I'll actually, oh, thank you. I'm going to erase that one. There's some samples of climographs on this sheet, which is going back to this here. It's this sheet here. This one here gives you just another example of it. Oops, actually I have that open over here already. So this is the samples that you can use. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a whole new one. And so I'll close this. I'm going to answer this question. What can climographs tell you about a city? And I just told you precipitation and temperature. Look at the climograph below. What city could it be? So there's this climograph down here, and this is temperature, and this, like the blue, is temperature. So you can see negative temperatures below zero, and this is rain. So there's not much rain or precipitation in February, March. There's not too much, but it really spikes around June, July, these months here. So what could that be? So just use some common sense, use some thought process, figure out what it could be, and back up your reason in this box here. Okay, as for this one here, so you're going to choose a city. I'm choosing Verona, because I'm linking it back to Shakespeare. And what you do is you click in this space here after you make your own copy, and you go down to insert chart. Now in this case, we're going to insert a bar graph at first. The chart will come in and it will look like a standard one. And what you do is you click on this corner here. It says open in sheets, and see this opened up here. The chart itself will show up just underneath. Just takes a second, but because I'm doing a climograph, and you see it's still working. Because I'm doing a climograph, I want the first column to be the months. So just changing this to J, changing this to J, January, February, etc. And you'll notice it actually does change on the chart as well. It's just a little bit laggy here. Sorry about that. I'm just going to pull this up here so you can see it change. So I'm going to keep going through, and it will add different months, etc. So this would be April, May. Oops, did I skip one? Yes, I did. That's okay too. So March, and I'll actually get rid of this row here. Delete row. There we go. Got rid of that row. March, April, May, June, July, August, and so on. So as I get down to the last couple of months, pretty straightforward. You can do this on your own city. So you're going to choose any city in the world, find climate data. It really doesn't matter to me what you use for climate data, but just to give you an example of how to get this climate data, in this column, I'm going to use temperature. So I'll erase this, put temperature for that city, and average temperature for that city for that month. And this one will be precipitation. And then I go back to the climate data, and you can see right here, I have January average temperature, 6 degrees for that month. So I go back to my spreadsheet and I put in here, it's 6 degrees. And so on. So this is a little bit time consuming because you're going back and forth. There's February, it's 9 degrees for the average. And yeah, just go through your numbers. Now, the precipitation data is also on this, it's on the next one. So this one's a little bit tricky actually. The number of rain days is in this boxes. So there's 16 days in January that it rained. And the amount of rain is this one here. That's the one you want, is millimeters. So I'll go back to January. So it was 40.62. So I'll just round that up to 41 and put that number in here. So 41 millimeters of rain. And you can see that this chart is working, but it's not perfect because it doesn't look like a climograph yet. This looks like a climograph now. Typically the temperature would be bars and can be below zero, and the precipitation will typically be the line. The next thing you can do is you go back to the sheet here and you say update. So it'll update and see how it changes and accommodates for what I'm doing. At this point, I would say just work through this as fast as you can because this week's work, this is the easiest assignment. Cheers.